I think that everyone has those few films that they've maybe watched 100 times. It might be comforting, it might be nostalgic, or it might just be really fucking good. Anyway, for me growing up, one of those films was The Zohan, a story revolving around an Israeli counter-terrorist commando, played by Adam Sandler, who stages his own death when he grows tired of his current job and he decides to follow his true passion of cutting and styling hair. It's an engaging, beautiful story about love, perseverance, not giving a fuck, greed, and a lot of hummus. Did I also mention that he has super strength, ultra reflexes, and is bulletproof apparently? Oh my god! He's basically the culmination of everything you want to be in life. Now, I can't tell you why I kept going back to this film. I didn't even understand what was going on 90% of the time when I watched it when I was younger. Maybe it was the carelessness of the main character which made me want to come out of my shell and be more confident, or the fact he would levitate just to kick people in the face. Whatever the case, it took me until now after rewatching it to actually understand the plot and character motivations, the messages to be taken away, and the fact that the taxi driver guy was played by Rob Schneider. Which, if he did today, he'd be done for. Anyway, I enjoy dissecting films to look at, the morals of characters and lessons to be taken away from the 2-hour experience, regardless of how ridiculous the film is in hindsight. Fortunately, this time around, the film is obviously just a masterpiece. This film certainly contains a lot for me to talk about, and though it includes what a lot of people today might deem as, offensive, the film doesn't take itself seriously, and it makes everyone look stupid. Anyway, I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Let's get into it. So firstly, I like the Zohan character so much because apart from the fact he's the culmination of pretty much everything I envisioned myself to be as an adult when I was like 6 years old, he chose to pursue what he wanted to do and what he was good at, not what others told him. He pursued his passion and didn't let any negativity enter his mind. He was determined to make his dream a reality, no matter what it took. Now personally, in my opinion, if you're going to pursue your passion, you should at least take some things into account. One, are you good at it? Because a lot of people have a passion, maybe they like painting or something, but they're just not that good at it. If I'm not good at this, is there something else that I could be good at, or I am good at? If there is something else that I could be really good at, could I pursue that and find more purpose in it? See, the advice of follow your passion only really works if someone's either willing to dedicate their entire life to it, or they're just really good at it to begin with. I mean, obviously it's up to you, and I'm not going to discourage anyone to do what they want to do, but just remember you may be more successful in pursuing something that you can become better at more easily and then find purpose in that. But yeah, enough of my little lecture, let's move on. I also love the Zohan because he clearly does not care what others think of him, and this confidence appeals to, especially the older women. Now, I imagine this careless persona and fearlessness likely comes from, his experiences as a counter-terrorist, because, after seeing what he's probably seen, the last thing you'd care about is what others think of him, or the fact he's got a piranha chewing his dick. Now, while the film takes a pretty extreme take on being yourself, it's something we can all admire. Like, he genuinely just acts how he wants. He's not afraid to show his preferences, and he's not harming anyone that doesn't deserve it, at least in the process. Apart from that cat, maybe. The film also shows people coming together to defeat a common enemy. Because see, in the film, whenever like a horrific event happens in Manhattan, the Israelis and Palestinian people of the town are quick to assume that, the other side are the ones doing these, when in reality the real enemy is this guy called Grant Wallbridge, who's trying to build like a big new mall with this fucking massive roller coaster. Also, his girlfriend's got like the perfect tits to waist ratio, fucking some shit like that. Anyway, he's basically hiring racists and whatnot to do all this to divide the Israelis and Palestinians so that everyone else in the city sees the horrific events going on, and then vote for them all to be made to replace the areas where these minority groups do their business. But fortunately, the Zohan, he's just such a beautiful man. He isn't violent, he comes to terms with his rival, the Phantom, and they unravel the man behind it all, and then they go on to build their own giant mall. How inspiring. Just goes to show that in some cases, it's not always one side versus another. It can be both sides versus a common enemy. And I feel like this is a lot of what we're seeing in the modern day, to be honest. Opposing sides refusing to hear each other out because they're so adamant that they're right and that any other viewpoint is wrong. And so if you disagree with them, you're a bigot. Like, I have viewpoints that a lot of people would probably disagree with, and the same can probably be said for you. But that's okay, because why would I expect someone to agree with everything that I say? It's a sad reality, and it's also sad that a lot of modern movies now are being used more as products to impose like a woke ideology, rather than telling like a compelling story that people will actually remember and care about. I'm just glad that movies like Zohan exist. They're just fun. Like, you just sit there and laugh, have a good time. I love Adam Sandler, he's the fucking best, man, honestly. So yeah, this video is pretty short, but I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and watch my videos if you want. You do you, I'm not gonna force you. I'm not gonna walk, go outside, get some fucking vitamin D, man, it's good for you. Stop watching YouTube. Bye.